Alright, it looks like they're off.
Nice. Already in sync right at the start.
So this is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color. This is the any percent, no save quit, no wrong warp, no out of bounds category. In a tournament race, Group H. Today we got Xander versus Alpha 5. Should be a great match. In case you don't know what the category is, any percent is beat the game as fast as possible with the following restrictions. Save and quit. You can't save and quit unless you soft lock. For the tournament, we allow saving and quitting in case you soft lock. That also includes death warping. If you do save and quit or death warp, you have to go back to the screen that you save and quit or died on. Right here, we're gonna see Quick Sword.
I think Xander is still gonna get it, but Alpha's too high.
Yeah, Alpha's a little too high.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah.
It's really finicky trick when you do a damage boost. You can't position yourself as accurately as you would want. But it doesn't cost too much time, so you see Xander is only like half a second ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't save that much time, but it's pretty nice if you do get it.
All the little time saves help.
So, to continue with the category, no wrong warp. Basically, every screen transition needs to go to its intended location. If you're familiar with the doghouse glitch, that's a wrong warp. Or there's a wrong warp in Dungeon 7 where if you jump through a transition, it leads into Dungeon 8. Stuff like that. And then no out of bounds. You have to stay within bounds that you can walk on normally. Any tiles that are normally accessible are in bounds. Also, boundary tiles are considered in bounds for this, but anything further than one tile, north, south, east, or west of Link's location is out of bounds. And there you see them pulling up the save and quit menu on the chest there. That skips the text that normally pops up whenever you get an item from a chest.
Really adds up during the run. Now both players are gonna try to get this Moblin to face up. When he faces up, you can actually bump him with your shields in order for you to pass and hopefully getting across the pit with a sick damage boost.
Ooh, Xander bumped him a little too much.
And there they both go again. Nice, both players going across. Making use of a save and quit menu and a pause menu, Xander is actually able to leave before the owl speaks, silencing the owl, while Alpha didn't get that skip. So he's
owl skip is very, very precise. You have to do a very precise set of actions in order to leave the screen before the owl starts speaking. Now, if he were to go back to that screen, the owl would talk to him, so he has to avoid that screen for the rest of the game. Luckily, the route never goes back there.
Yeah. I remember during a bingo, I went back there 3 times, and I had to talk to the owl 3 times. That was really unfortunate.
Let's see if they both get first try Trendy game. Looks like they both got it.
Easy every time.
It's the hardest game. Like, I don't know how they get it first try every time.
It's you need to be a speedrunner in order to get that. You need to practice that like 10 hours a day for like a week. Otherwise, you're just gonna fail it.
Here they're gonna steal from the shopkeeper by standing above the shopkeeper. It makes him turn his back to the door, and you can actually leave through the front door before he turns around and sees you. That's intended in the game.
Super intended.
And they're both trying to think here where when they buy the bombs, they're going to pull up the save and quit menu. That saves the text from actually purchasing the bombs.
Yeah, it saves 2 text boxes, so that's 2 seconds of time save every time you get it, so it's definitely worth it.
you have to do a very precise set of inputs. You have to grab the bombs with B, and then you have to hit select before start, otherwise you'll pull up the start menu. Oh, he went for the pit walk but didn't get it.
That was interesting.
And you may see them killing some random enemies along the way. That's for what's known as the Piece of Power. It drops after killing 30 enemies, and it increases your damage and more importantly, increases your movement speed. So they're going to be trying to get it in certain spots to help them out a lot.
Yeah, almost all runners have a certain route of enemies they try to follow during the run in order to get at least 3 piece of power drops during the run. Nice. Not having too much trouble with the spiked beetle room.
And here you can see a nice little property of wall clipping, where you go perpendicular into a wall, just a little bit further than you would be able to from the edge, and it allows you to clip a little bit further into the wall, and you can do a lot of interesting actions. Right there, it allowed him to do what's the exo boost, which allows him to get past the exos before they have to retreat again.
Apparently they're not called exos, but that's something someone told me like 2 weeks ago or something. But yeah.
But it also allowed him to do that, what's called a super jump, by clipping into a wall and then doing a jump and an action away from the wall. It allows you to trick the game into thinking you're coming off of a cliff. And you get this really big jump that allows you to jump over a lot of things.
It really breaks open a lot of dungeons. Almost all the walls in dungeons can be super jumped off. Let's see how this modern fight goes. Nice.
Pretty much as long as you have a corner to clip into, you can do a super jump in a dungeon.
You can even do it without clipping, but that's more random. Nice, modern fight for Alpha 2.
Yeah, we didn't see any Trolldorn today.
So in order to get the first piece of power drop, they are gonna have to kill a bunch of enemies on the way to Dungeon 2. So we'll see if both runners take all their kills that they need. We only know for sure once they get into Dungeon 2, if they counted correctly.
Fun fact, those kids that Xander just talked to, if you press A through their text box, there's more text that pops up. But if you press B, it stops at the one text box there. Who knows why that actually happens, but it's interesting.
It's only in the Japanese version also.
Yeah, it's only in the Japanese version. In the English, it doesn't matter which button you press.
I'm not really sure about Xander's skill count. I think he may be a little bit too low, but he could also be playing it safe for the tourney.
I think I didn't check to see where his
His acorn dropped, you mean?
Yeah, his acorn, yeah.
Yeah. So acorn and piece of power are 2 things enemies can drop depending on your kill counts.
The acorn drops from consecutive kills without getting hit. which if you do the exo boost, it'll drop in the same spot as long as you get the same number of kills.
Xander is gonna try something called a flock clip right here. With the text box popping up, you actually get a frame of movement diagonally into the wall, clipping into the wall, and it allows you to actually skip that block and walk past it.
Trolling there a little bit.
Yeah. Took him a little bit.
So unfortunately, the only way to get into Dungeon 2 is waiting for Bow Wow to eat one of those plants. And it's random when he decides he wants to eat a plant.
So Alpha getting a slightly better Bow Wow there.
And Xander got his piece of power, so now he's going to be moving a lot faster.
He did get it late a little bit. Normally you want to get it in the room Alpha's in right now. That's the first place you want it, so you have the most time saved because of it. But it seems that both runners played it safe with their kills.
Yeah, Alpha still doesn't have it.
Yeah. You definitely want to have it before the mini-boss, because it helps a ton there.
Yeah, he picked up the acorn.
At least he picked up the acorn first.
Yeah.
That's the good one. Because the one you pick up last is the one you keep.
And here Xander's doing a little glitch with the booze there. If you jump into the transition and then wait for them to come and then just slash them, they decide to just leave.
They think the shortest path to you is to the left, so they try to get to you as fast as they can, but unfortunately it's the wrong way.
And this room here, you have to kill all the enemies in a specific order. You have to kill the Pulse Voice, which is the bunny thing, then the bat, and then the Stalfos. There's a statue that tells you the order, but of course, speedrunners already know the solution.
We cheat.
Now for the Dungeon 2 boss, there's a really cool quick kill that you can do. After the first round of fireballs, he's gonna clip into the top corner, and he's gonna throw the pot into the wall there. When you're clipped in, it'll break the pot instantly. Normally you have to do like a couple rounds of throwing the pot into the wall before it'll break. And then you can just drop a bomb and then shoot a bomb arrow to kill the boss instantly in the second phase.
Yeah, bombs are really overpowered at the start of the game. Bombs deal the same amount of damage as 4 sword slashes, so instead of having to chase around the genie in the room with your sword, you can actually use your bombs to your advantage and get a nice quick kill on that. Makes the fight so much safer also.
And bomb arrows, I don't know if they're actually like intended or if it's a glitch in this game, but like if you drop a bomb and then shoot an arrow like within a couple frames after the bomb, it'll travel like an arrow but do bomb damage. So that's very useful to be able to do a lot of damage quickly.
And it's also a way to make bombs explode on impact instead of having to wait for it to explode like on this statue that Xander is passing through right now. Just saves a little bit of time, not having to wait for the bombs, which is really convenient. So Xander is coming up to a kind of an RNG trick, which is Villa Skip. He's gonna try to buffer falling into the pit, which he got right there.
I think that was a 4 buffer.
Yeah, that was a 4 buffer. Falling into the pit pushes you down in this game, and if you frame buffer, you don't actually fall in the pit, because that's on the second frame after that. So you get pushed down into the transition, allowing you to transition to move downwards. So you don't have to walk all the way around. You have to do the side quest to get in there with Candlelit Castle, with Richard and the Golden Leaves.
Yeah,
So
you have to
that's it.
collect 5 golden leaves in order to get in there, just to get the key for Dungeon 3.
Yeah, so that's a huge time save over a casual playthrough.
And here, using wall clipping, you can activate the key from the other side by facing up
Here
and
goes
wall clipping
Alpha.
into it.
Looks decent. There it is, third buffer. That's a really nice one. No. Getting out of the maze is also sometimes really tricky. You can't get too close to Pit, but you want to be more than 3 pixels over it in order to get a fall down out of the maze.
And
Oh,
looks like
nice.
Xander got his second piece of power.
Indeed.
Exactly where he wants it.
You can
Now-
get it earlier, but it doesn't help that much.
Now he's going to do what's called Dodongo skip. He's going to do a super jump off the wall and then clink his sword off the Dodongo while in midair to redirect his movement. And that gets him over to the boots early without having to kill the mini-boss there.
Yeah. Second try is not that bad. It's better than getting stuck into the wall, so...
Yeah, one of the risks with that trick is that you can soft lock by getting stuck in the wall. And for the purposes of this tournament, you're allowed to save and quit to get out of it, but normally that would be an instant reset.
And the thing is, runners have to do it twice, so... It's definitely something you want to get consistent at, or at least be able to not soft lock there.
At least the second time you have boots, sometimes you're able to use the boots to get out of a potential soft lock.
Yeah. Boots allow you to move 2 pixels at a time instead of 1. So if you're at the edge of the block, then you can actually boot out.
Xander having a little trouble with the enemy there.
The owl always trolling him a lot. Playing peekaboo.
Oh,
Getting his boot stash a little bit too late there. Getting stunned.
but with piece of power, they still die super quick.
Yeah. Let's see if Alpha can get his second jump. Nice.
Nice,
Very
no
clean
soft
there.
locks today.
And a flock clip. Skipping that key block is always nice.
Ooh,
I'm missing the jump though. Opting to go above. That's way safer, yeah. That jump can be tricky. If you change your direction, even though if you are moving right and you press right, you lose your boots charge. So that causes you to fall down instantly sometimes, which is really annoying. Let's see if Alpha can get it. Yeah, he's also late, unfortunately. Oh
ooh,
no!
he died.
That's really unfortunate. Because we don't beat the mini-boss anymore in this dungeon, you actually don't get the warp portal. So he has to go
now he's
back.
gonna have to go and do Dodongo skip again.
Indeed.
Here, Xander's doing what's called Walrus Skip. Normally, you're supposed to go get Marin and have her play a song to wake up the walrus, but by doing a bomb trigger, you're able to play the song without her around.
And bump triggers are really weird. They allow you to start cutscenes when you do them. And it breaks the game wide open. Alpha having a lot of trouble with his clip there. There he goes. Nice quick kill for Xander also. You can actually kill Lenmola before he spawns. His sprite is on the screen. So you just have to hit it.
And he didn't fall into the pit, which is always nice. The key that spawns is slowly sinking into the sand, and if you grab it a little too late, you'll fall into the sand as you grab it, and you have to go back out of the cave.
Yeah, it loses about 15 to 20 seconds if you fall down, so you definitely don't want to do that. Nice dash there. Dodging the stun of the falling slime. Really good improvised strats there. When you don't have piece of power, that boss becomes a little bit trickier. You can't just use normal slashes to get a quick kill.
Yeah, usually if I don't have piece of power there, I'll switch to Feather over Boots. Because that way you can avoid the crashing down. So to answer a question in chat about Bow Wow, you get Bow Wow before Dungeon 2 in order to open up Dungeon 2, but you don't return him back to Madame Meow Meow, I think, because it's just faster. Also, having Bow Wow will allow us to eat some certain cutscenes, and he likes to eat a lot of enemies too, so that helps. Sometimes hurts your piece of power route. But mostly it's just faster not to return him.
Yeah, we actually never return to the town. So it would be a big detour to get back there to return Bow Wow. Oh! No! That's why you have a backup save file. So you saw Alpha left the screen before the text box, so that keeps his game into a cutscene state, so you cannot use your items except for bracelets for some reason. And you can't open the start menu and you can't open the save quit menu. And in this case he left the screen too early, so the walrus was still there. So in that case he was stuck in that area and he can't finish the game from there. Let's see, second try, hopefully. Well, Xander is fighting Q-Ball. Pretty easy mini-boss. That looks better.
Right.
Yeah, it's gone
Alright,
now.
he got a second try.
Yeah.
And Xander just picked up the flippers. He's gonna now leave Dungeon 4. We don't want to complete Dungeon 4 right away because you get, after completing Dungeon 4, there's a ghost that appears right outside, and he causes you to do this side quest before you can enter any other dungeon. He will require you to go and do this side quest for him. So to skip that, we actually just do Dungeon 4 a little bit later on. And there's a trigger by collecting another upgrade for your bracelet that
Yes, indeed.
that causes the ghost not to appear.
I think it has to do with the rooster, because the level 2 bracelet allows you to get to the rooster area, so they wanted to make sure you don't have the option of getting all the followers at once, which would be kind of crazy.
That would make sense.
Yeah, they added that failsafe in. You can still get all the followers with some out-of-bounds glitches, and it's kind of funny what happens, because the sprites get everyone has the same sprite.
So Xander didn't get his piece of power in that first room like he would like to.
Yeah.
Dungeon 5 is one of the longest dungeons in the game, so you want to have piece of power for as long as possible here.
That's an acorn. Didn't really pay too much attention to Xander's skill count, so I'm not sure if he missed it or if it's just gonna drop really late.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention either.
We saw it drop late on other runs also. So, but seeing as he's not opting to kill any extra enemies, I think it has dropped early.
Yeah, I think Bow Wow ate too many enemies. Oh, wasting an arrow off to the side there.
Ah, and that bomb was just barely
Just
too late.
a tad too late. Ooh. Master Stalfos getting the best of Xander right here.
Luckily, we have a fair amount of spare arrows and bombs in this route, so it's not terrible to use a few extra. Nice obstacle skip there for Alpha, jumping over the obstacle instead of breaking it with boots.
It saves, what, like a third of a second?
If you get all 2 of them, yes.
But it's so much swag, so you gotta go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think Xander's concerned about his lack of piece of power right now. He's starting to kill a bunch of enemies. Or trying to.
I think he's trying to get another piece of power for Dungeon 6. Because he got his piece of power early, I suppose, then. Because otherwise he would have had it by now.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to kill a lot of enemies in order to manipulate a piece of power in Dungeon 6. Maybe. I don't know if Xander does that, routes that in.
So to answer the question in chat about save and quit, save and quit was taken out of the route more because of it's like an old STA thing where you're only allowed a single segment. That's where it originated from. So like you can't save and quit to do a separate segment. But for this category in general, it's mostly because of the piece of power as well. Saving and quitting also resets your piece of power count. So being no save and quit allows you to route around saving the piece of power.
There's the really interesting thing about the save and quit route now. I think it was discovered like 2 months ago, maybe? 3 months? It's a trick called instrument cutscene skip. And it is exactly what you think it is. It skips the cutscene of the instrument. Which is especially useful in Dungeon 4. There's his second piece of power, by the way.
Yeah.
So it allows you to skip the Dungeon 4 cutscene, which means you can beat Dungeon 4 in one go and not get the ghost to spawn, which saves a minute, but it's really tricky to get it. It's a frame perfect trick. And it's frame rule dependent, I believe, but you can't buffer for it. So yeah, that piece of power is for Xander was at a pretty decent time to still get a Dungeon 6 piece of power.
Oh, and Xander got the cool jump in the underground
Nice.
section there.
Yeah.
You can just barely make it onto that one platform. It's a lot easier if you have piece of power, but since he doesn't have it, it's pretty cool.
It's always nice having a little bit more health going into the final boss. Can't really tell anything about Alpha's kill count because he had a soft lock on Warrior Skip. So
yeah, because he had to load that save. His kill count's going to be way off of what we're normally expecting. Also, it looks like he reset his timer at some point. Probably when he reset.
Yeah. We go off SRL time anyway, so
yeah,
that's still running. As is mentioned in the chat. That was a nice kill, by the way. I think it was a 2-cycle.
I think it was 2-cycle. I was looking at Alpha, but I think I saw only 2 cycles there.
Yeah. Kind of waiting for that piece of power to drop.
yeah.
There it is. Yeah. So every time you save and quit, or load a save state, I guess, as a save file, your piece of power counts gets reset. So in a save and quit category, there is barely any piece of power because of it. And that's why it dropped late for Alpha there. Xander making his way to Dungeon 6, but he first has to go to the Southern Face Shrine and through the Armos Maze, also known as the Death Maze, because Armos deal a lot of damage, so you don't want to touch them. They deal 2 hearts of damage, so you have to be careful there. But this is practiced quite a bit. By using the shield, you can actually bump them without activating the statues, so this allows you to pass through most of the maze unharmed.
Also, Bow Wow will eat a bunch of the Armoses as well. Mostly on the way back.
Yeah, on the way back you get a few nice eats there that are kind of fixed. Ah, Alpha missed a 1 cycle.
And here's Xander going for bootstrats. Gets it nicely.
That was a scary super jump for Alpha. He jumped really short. But luckily it was still far enough to get out of the block. The nice thing also about Bow Wow eating the Armos, they guarantee an arrow drop. So you saw Xander going back for that arrow. Because it's really nice to have a few extra arrows going into Dungeon 6.
Yeah, he was pretty low on arrows.
Ooh, nice.
In Dungeon 5.
That last Armos that the Bow Wow ate, that's kind of random. He doesn't eat it all the time, so if he eats it, it's really nice. You can just pass through instantly.
Also, I don't think we really talked about the jump that Alpha's been attempting. That gets you to the boss key in Dungeon 5. Normally you're supposed to have the hookshot here and hookshot the bridge closer to you. But you can do a boots jump across.
Yeah.
You want to line up in between the tiles so that it gives you a little bit of leeway.
So you saw Alpha went back down the stairs to get an extra heart, because once you grab the key in this category, you actually have to fall in the pit and take an extra half a heart of damage.
And he would have died if he didn't have that heart.
Yeah.
And
in that case,
the rules of the tournament state that if you die, you have to go back to the room that you died in. He would have to come all the way back here.
Yeah, if it doesn't, if it allows you to move less screens, then you have to go back. So Alpha still has to be a little bit careful here. There is the D6 piece of power for Xander. Nice. He manipulated that really well. So instead of getting it in D5, where it saves the most time, he still gets quite a bit of time saving Dungeon 6. Ooh, nice skill for Alpha there. Getting all 5 the enemies in one spin slash, that's really sick.
And Xander just did what's known as invincibility. By hookshotting into a pot right next to it, it like keeps your hookshot state, so it keeps you invincible. Whenever you have the hookshot out, you can't take damage, so it kind of like locks in that state there until you do another action.
This is the downside of Piece of Power. It knocks enemies back really far, so this quick kill for the Whisper Broom, it becomes a little bit iffier. So as you saw, he slashed the Whisper Rope a little bit too early, so it missed his bomb. So he had to kill it separately, losing a little bit of time. Nice frog clip there. He's gonna attempt a super jump, which can, if you position yourself too high, you can get stuck in the top block. So you'd have to save and quit out if that happens. But he gets it first try, so no problem there.
And Alpha losing his piece of power right before the boss. You want to lose the piece of power there, because otherwise you push the wall snake a little further each hit because of the knockback effect, and it makes it a lot harder to get 4 hits per cycle in.
Exactly. You actually still can get 4 hits in, but it's really tight. I think only Zorlax did that. Maybe Teach also did it for a little bit, but I believe he doesn't do it anymore.
Now, Xander's fighting Facade, who's a big joke of a boss.
Yeah.
He just dropped 5 bombs, then he's dead.
There it goes. Alpha had a lot of trouble with that wall snake. It's really hard to cover all 4 of the holes at once, so if you miss or not go for that, you can only cover 2 holes at the same time. And then Wall Snake can just decide to pop out on the other side, and you just have to wait for him. And it's really annoying.
Yeah, and if you screw up, like, once you do enough damage to him, he'll start faking you out, and it gets really annoying.
Yeah. Once he does that, you also have to be careful on your health, because then you can take hits really fast. Nice bomb trigger, by the way, for Xander. Skipping the owl animation of flying in and flying out. Those bomb fairies can ruin your life in the water. The knockback you get from them is terrible.
And, like, there's no real, like, Z-axis in this game, so like you can get hit by them just swimming in the water, even though they're supposed to be flying.
Indeed. So this is the moment where we go back to Dungeon 2. With the level 2 bracelet, you can use Skip the Ghost. Wow, that portal.
That warp did not want to take him.
Yeah. Those warps are really iffy with the positioning. If you're not on the right spot, you don't get warped, as you saw there. It's really iffy sometimes.
So Xander's gonna do a really cool super jump here. He's gonna do a super jump and then clink off the P hat to get up onto that ledge.
Nice.
And that skips doing a puzzle in order to get into the underground section to get up here. And that saves a lot of time. Also saves some either memorization or pulling up a solution to the puzzle. There's
Alpha missed his bomb to save him from the stun, so he has to do a backup here. Ah, that's unfortunate. Xander making quick work though with Anglerfish, so there.
Ooh.
Just too early. It's really tricky sometimes with the boots, avoiding any stuns, so you have to get the timing down. It requires quite a bit of practice, get comfortable with it, as you saw in Alpha's attempt. But he gets it on the second try, so he doesn't lose too much time on it. He actually stopped this timer, I believe, or Diesel did it. So now it's time for Xander to go back up the mountain to get to the last 2 dungeons. Nice bump there.
Oh yeah, Alpha got the good bomb from the bomb fairy.
Yeah, they can help sometimes. It happens really rarely, but sometimes they actually help you out. Xander going for obstacle skip. Nice.
Obstacle skip? Did he get the first one?
Yeah. Also, we keep Bow Wow for that reason on Alpha screen. I think we missed it on Xander's stream earlier. Bow Wow can actually eat cutscenes. So once you open the egg, you have to spawn a sprite on the screen. In this case, a bomb explosion. And Bow Wow decides to eat it, allowing you to skip the waiting period.
Now Xander's going for Rooster Skip.
Bow Wow.
Oh.
And that's the downside of having Bow Wow. Especially on that trick. He blocks your hook shot. So you want to use the hook shots in order to get a frame of where the game thinks you are on solid ground, so you can actually jump. And you have to use that twice in order to get over this big pit. So it's a frame perfect trick. You can also buffer it. I think Xander practiced that. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Second
so yeah,
try.
the game doesn't expect you to be using the hook shot over a pit. So it gives you a frame of movement after the hook shot retreats. You can buffer it. You can buff, or you can just try and feel it out, and you can do a jump on that one frame, and just keep doing it over and over again until you get to the other side. Alpha's probably gonna buffer. I feel like.
I'm not sure. I haven't watched any of his attempts actually. I feel bad as a commentator for not checking that. I'm sorry.
This was kind of last minute, so I didn't get a chance to read up on them either.
I know Alpha a little bit. I know him from the mystery tournaments.
Yeah, I know Alpha
MPX,
more from
so-
Mystery Tournament as well.
Exactly. And him and I speedran a nice little game. That's another cutscene he needs for Xander. Instead of having to wait for the tower to turn around, Bao eats the cutscene and you can just transition to open up the dungeon.
Yeah, that cutscene is super long, so you really want Bow Wow to eat that cutscene there.
So Dungeon 7 is actually really broken. And you will soon see why. There are these beautiful pillars, and there's a beautiful ball, but we also have something else that is ball-shaped, and those are bombs. And apparently you can bomb trigger the pillars.
Normally you're supposed to grab a ball and you throw it at each of these pillars.
So close.
And there, Xander did a naked super jump. As long as you're facing away from the wall, you don't have to have like a sword out in order to do a super jump.
Alpha is so close on these super jumps. He's just jumping a little bit too late.
There we
it
go.
is. Nice. When you jump later in the super jump, you just don't get the same distance as you would normally. So you need to super jump at the top of your jump in order to get the most distance out of it, to make it all the way to the other side. Xander is going for a nice trick called Goomba surfing. There it is.
Nice.
Sweet. Landing on the Goomba allows you to extend your super jump state a few tiles further, making it possible to get up there with a super jump instead of walking all the way around or getting the boss key.
Alpha having a little trouble with the flock clip there.
Yeah. Block clips are really iffy sometimes. Nice skill for Xander, getting all 3 bombs. Since we skip the mirror shield, you actually have to kill him pretty fast before he does any of his normal attacks with shooting his feathers at you. Oh no! Alpha picked up his bomb,
Ooh.
missing the third hit. So he has to go through an extra cycle of facade. So Xander falling down this cliff, using a save and quit menu to gain control before falling down. Otherwise you have to land on the pit before you gain control. And it allows you to move downwards away from the pit so you don't fall into it. Which allows you to get to Dungeon 8 pretty quickly instead of having to walk back up the mountain. Which is really convenient.
Now here you see
Yes.
Marin on the bridge there. We just ignore her. If you like get too close to her, there'll be like a 45-second cutscene. So you want to stay as far down as possible to avoid that.
It's a nice cutscene though. You can see Marin is actually not stuck there. She can just do stuff that you wouldn't think she can do. It's really funny when you do it, when you touch her on the bridge. Maybe we'll see it. But runners know they shouldn't do that, so usually you won't see it happening to anyone. Keyword is usually.
Yeah, we do have some newer runners in this tournament, so maybe one of them will end up.
It's always fun to see the reactions of runners when they first do it. It's such a good watch.
So here Xander's going to be doing another bomb trigger to open up Dungeon 8. Normally you need the frog song in order to get in here, but using a bomb trigger you can play the song and enter Dungeon 8.
Playing your bombs awakens everything. Oh,
Ooh.
just falling short on that jump. Yeah, he's playing it safe now. He's letting the Zamboni thing move up a tile more.
He did another naked super jump and
Alpha just not getting the distance on that super jump.
there we go.
Nice. Let's see how Anglerfish is gonna go. Not a hard boss, so... Especially with bomb arrows. Nice. Xander fighting Blano now. He can be iffy with his movements, so you have to be careful with your spin slashes, because otherwise he just hits you and he cancels your sports slash, your sports spin. So
He can also hit you all the way back to the beginning of the dungeon if you're not careful.
yeah. Usually we kill him fast enough in order for him to not do that attack, but sometimes he can troll you, and if he catches you on a slight whim of not looking at, not paying too much attention, he can just knock you back and loses you a minute.
And now Xander's coming up to Cue Ball 2. Same as the first one. Just a couple spin slashes and he's dead. But more importantly, he's coming up to the room.
What's up with this room?
This room has a bunch of different solutions. Everyone does it differently. And if you're not paying too much attention, you can easily mess it up. Or move the chest down a tile.
All you gotta do to speedrun this game is pay attention. That's all you need to do. And it's not that long of a speedrun, so shouldn't be too hard, but sometimes it just sneaks in and you make a small mistake which costs you 10 seconds.
And Xander just did a Jesus jump to get clipped into the wall there for that super jump.
Nice.
Basically, when the splash of the lava appeared, he had a frame to do a jump.
Getting a one cycle on Hot Hat is nice. And Alpha also getting his obstacle skip earlier. He had a bit of trouble setting it up though, so he didn't save any time on that, but it's still swag, so it counts for something.
And Xander did get the Wang, so his run is validated. Chat's asking how you super jump. It's a version 1.0 exclusive glitch where you push into, you have to clip into a wall, push towards the wall, jump, and then either use the sword or fire rod to swing away while you press away from it. It's really weird how to do it, but it tricks the game into thinking you're on a cliff and that you're jumping down the cliff. There's a couple other ways you can do it without a sword or fire rod. But for the most part, that's the way to do it.
That's a really sketchy ruse to skip. Ah, there it goes. He's up higher now.
Oh, he's
yeah.
not doing the map buffer at the end there.
He got his first jump though, apparently. That was...
Yeah. And
Problem is...
Xander did another bomb trigger to load the cutscene for the opening the windfish egg. Again, you're supposed to have the ocarina in order to open this,
Oh,
but bomb triggers are very, very useful.
nice. Using the hookshot there to save him from falling.
Yeah, that was quick thinking there.
Yeah. That's a sketchy position.
Now,
Ooh,
this is yeah, that position wasn't that great.
I remember during the previous tourney where I forgot how to do buffer. That was so unfortunate. I think that might be the same thing happening to Alpha. That he forgot how to, and that he had to do a map buffer.
So the maze inside the windfish egg is set every time until you read the book inside the library. So that's how Xander knew where to go.
Not getting the quick one on the blob though. Sometimes you can actually get all 3 hits that you need to do on the blob with your sword.
He did get the tech skip though, so that killed the music.
Yeah, he killed the music, but he saved like 12 seconds, I believe it is. So it's definitely worth it in the speedrun. Who needs music?
And now Aghanim phase, after 2 yellow balls, he has the opportunity to start shooting blue balls. There is no limit to how many blue balls he can give you. So far, Xander's doing a pretty good job. No blue balls from him.
And getting the Moldorm stun lock. That's really nice. You can stun him into place if you hit him at the start. That prevents him from moving. You kind of lock him into place, waiting for his damage. Because when you damage Moldorm, he stands into place, which is what happens there.
Now coming up on the final phase. For this phase, you need to shoot 16 arrows into the eye when it's open.
Or throw bombs.
Yeah, you can also hit them with bombs, but it's a lot easier to use arrows.
Definitely easier. It's a nice challenge, trying to kill that fool with bombs. It's just RNG. Because the bomb explosion is just too slow.
Get up to four arrows per cycle.
Nice. Nice kill there. Celebrating his attempt by using all of his arrows.
And it looks like Xander has finished with the official SRL time of 58:22.
That's a pretty decent time. Meanwhile, Alpha is definitely not having a lot of fun with his Rooster Skip.
Yeah, having a little bit of trouble with Rooster Skip. Rooster Skip used to be like one of the hardest tricks in the run. Probably still is up there in terms of difficulty.
Especially with the new routes, skipping the ocarina. There is no backup anymore. The backup is Rooster Skip buffered.
Let's see if Xander wants to come in and join us for a little post commentary.
Guess who just joined?
Hello.
Hey Xander, good run.
Thanks.
Congrats.
It wasn't really good though.
Well, good enough for a win.
Yeah, that's true. I had some good parts though. Like D7 was like godlike for me, honestly.
Yeah, D7 was really smooth.
Yeah, that was a really good Goomba surf.
I had some trouble setting up for it though,
Yeah.
and my menus were just utter trash everywhere. I must have opened my menu for no reason like at least 10 times.
But you still managed to get a 58, which is a pretty decent time.
Yeah.
So, especially in a race.
So what did you think overall? Anything
Overall,
stick out to
overall
you?
it was okay, I guess. Yeah, it was really just menuing that was just bad. Also, rooster skip first time.
Yeah.
When I fell down, I was like telling myself, okay, I'll go buffer, but then I still went unbuffered the second time.
Exactly. That second try was really smooth though.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really
nice to
good.
watch.
It's a lot easier to like do the hookshot jumps when facing down for me for some reason.
You have a bit more time to react to the hook shot, facing down.
Oh,
That always helps. At least for me, that's what helps me out. It's kind of similar in timing to the first jump if you do that. So that's usually why I feel like most people feel like shooting down is easier. So yeah, Alpha had a lot of trouble on Rooster
Yeah.
Skip.
He had a lot of trouble on Rooster Skip, and he soft lock on Walrus Skip.
oh, that's a shame.
Luckily, he did have a backup save file, so he could continue on.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's see if you can get the cutscene needs for Bow Wow. There it is.
Yeah.
A little late, but that's a piece of power.
Oh yeah, right, piece of power. I had like
Yeah,
piece of power on the like that was terrible.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was
Dungeon
unfortunate.
5. Your
I
piece of
missed it
power.
dropping, so I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if you
Yeah.
managed it or not. So.
I did get it in D6 though, which was
Yeah.
nice. That was unexpected.
Pretty
too.
early in D6 too, which is nice.
I was thinking you were trying to go for it because of all the kills you took in Dungeon 5.
I was actually taking less kills than I usually do.
Ah, interesting. To me, it felt like you were actually attempting to get a D6 piece of power.
Well, yeah, I was. But I missed a lot of kills too because I didn't have piece of power.
Yeah, that's true. Piece of power definitely helps you to kill a lot of enemies quickly.
Alpha's going for the sideways.
Sideways unbuffered, that's swag.
That's-
That's so cool.
Nice.
When you do a sideways buffered, you have to be facing up. So during the transition, so you have to move into the transition diagonally and frame perfectly drop your bomb. So that's 3 inputs you have to take care of instead of a normal 2 inputs for a normal bomb trigger.
And you also have to pay attention to subpixels, which is fun.
Subpixels.
Let's see if he goes for the Goomba Surf or if he goes for the backup.
There are multiple backups. So we'll see. I think he knows Goomba Surf, so he's going for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Not getting his lineup though. He's still 1 pixel down, but you can make it from there, so... Ah, the Goomba got in his way. Is that close enough? I think he's too short. Yeah.
Oh,
Pixel
now
too
he's
far
going for the
down.
backup. Maybe?
He's grabbing hearts before the backup.
So the
always nice to
backup
have a
here
flex
is
heart.
to do a super jump and then clink off the P hat.
Nice. Really similar to the Dodongo super jump that you do in the Dungeon 3. Especially because it is also timed. Once the Piet flies away, you can't do it anymore and you have to leave the screen and come back.
You also have to worry about the BMOS too. It can hit you and knock you off of the raised platform.
Yeah, I believe that's why Alpha grabbed extra hearts, and also for this boss, maybe.
So we really didn't discuss the D7 boss that much. The way you fight it is by dropping bombs. Not really supposed to be doing this strat, but
Oh no. He actually fell off after he killed him, so he has to fight him again.
oh no.
Also,
Yeah,
I actually went for like the pit walk before D1, but I didn't get it because of
Yeah, I
global
saw
frame
Yeah,
roll.
we saw that.
I would have had it if I had a good frame roll.
It's all about the frame rules.
Yep.
Nice. And then another clean fight for Alpha there.
Not taking any chances this time, going up top to get the heart. Does he have enough bombs to get into
I
D8?
believe so, yeah. I think he had 7 and you need at least 3 to get into the 8 and 5 to do the normal route. So he should be fine.
As long as he doesn't mess up the bomb trigger.
If he goes for that unbuffered again, that would be that would be cool. I'm excited already, damn it. I'm making expectations. Okay, he moves down. I was gonna say that looked like a pixel where he would touch Marin, but he moved down, so it's fine. Alpha's triggers have been pretty decent. I believe he didn't waste too many bombs.
He did mess up the one sideways trigger in D7,
Yeah.
but that's because he went for the sideways trigger, I think. But yeah, overall, I think they've been okay.
Flameskip is also pretty interesting. It's really
Ooh, he's gonna die.
scary, as you can see. Because the flame deals 2.5 hearts every time he hits you, so you don't want to get stuck in there.
Normally, you're supposed to get the level 2 shield from Dungeon 7 in order to get past this flame, but we skipped the shield, so...
We have to
Yeah.
make do with a wall clip. The wall clip allows you to get stuck in the wall, sort of, so you don't get knocked back by the flame. Which allows you to inch a little bit closer. Nice trigger there. So yeah, he definitely has enough bombs to complete D8 the normal way.
I think Alpha is also on PB pace. He's comparing to to best segments though, so I can't really tell.
He had to reset his timer.
Oh,
He
right.
Yeah,
reset his
so
timer
it's not going to
during
be a
Robert
PB
Skip.
regardless because
Yeah.
of the reloading the save.
I see.
Yeah, I think his timer is about 20 minutes behind at least. Because he reset his timer after Robert Skip, I believe. So that timer that he has on stream is inaccurate.
Yeah, I guess he just has the option to reset the timer when you reset the game on the auto splitter.
Yeah. Nice, playing it safe. And still getting wrecked. It's really annoying with the fireballs. Let's hope Blano doesn't give him too much trouble, because he might be dying if he gets to hit too often. Nice. Grabbing the fairy too, which is a pretty safe decision. It's always
Yeah.
nice to have more than 4 hearts of health. Especially when you enter Hotheads.
Yeah, Hothead can do 4 hearts of damage in one hit.
I don't think there is anything else that deals 4 hearts of damage in one hit in this game. Not that I can think of, at least.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either.
Shopkeep insta-kills you, but that's something different.
Yeah, that's a scripted event.
Oh, dropping the cue ball. Quick kill there. That's unfortunate. Sometimes you just don't get the timing right and you clank off his shell. And then cue ball runs loose.
Oh, this is an interesting solution to the room.
All solutions are interesting. It's always nice to see what people do, what they feel comfortable with. So that's the main thing, you have to be comfortable with what you are doing.
Yeah, I do my jumps there at the very end, so I don't have to bother with that when I'm trying to focus on not screwing the room up.
I think he has to go for an extra time.
Oh.
Yeah, he was not against the wall when he hit the lava, so he didn't make a clip. Actually, yeah. You normally would be able to jump out if you buffer a jump, so he
Yeah.
forgot to buffer a jump also. Corner strats. Not working out.
Unfortunately, Hothead can't open up if he's over the lands.
He can, but not down there.
Well, yeah, like not down there.
That's a sick kill though. When he's all the way at the top, you can actually hit the wall to force a fire on the rim. So you instantly get your 2 hits that you need once his shell is cracked. That's really interesting. No Wang.
No Wang from Alpha there.
Feels bad,
Ooh.
man.
Ooh.
Think we're gonna have a little talk with him.
It didn't even look like he attempted it either.
Yeah, he didn't even shoot his fire rod.
Fire rod is really nice. You can burn all the things, or at least almost all the things. Then Bow Wow can eat them, having a nice hot snack. We used to do Dungeon 8 early in the run, before Dungeon 7, to use the Fire Rod on the evil legal boss, but it's a bit slower now with a new route. Now it's time for the song. There it is. Opening the egg, gaining entrance to the final dungeon.
So like we said earlier, the solution for this maze is set until you read a book in the library. So as long as you don't read the book in the library, all of the runners will know the solution, which is left, left, up, right, right, up, left, up. And it looks like he got the tech skip. Let's see if he's going for the quick kill here.
I think he forgot that
Yeah.
when you get the tech skip, he spawns in a different spot.
Yeah, he wasn't high up enough to get the quick kill.
But luckily there's always powder as a backup.
And there's the first blue ball. After 2 yellow balls, you have the opportunity to start getting blue balls. There's no limit to how many blue balls he can shoot in a row. You just have to get four yellow ball hits in.
Nice. Not getting too much unfortunate accidents.
Oh, it looks like he
That,
had the
however,
stun lock, but
yeah.
then dropped it.
So yeah, this is Moldor. And you can see how much slower it is if you don't get the stun lock.
And that was Lanmola, the hardest phase of this entire boss.
If you screw it up, you can definitely get on your nerves.
Yeah.
Nice. 4 hits. Ah. Getting knocked back there. Another 3. 2 more. He needs 5 more hits. 3 more.
And as you can see, once you start getting a couple hits in, the arms start moving a lot more erratically, and it can be a lot more difficult to keep
my
Deathel in
God.
place.
There it is. Nice. He had to play it a bit safe because of his low health, so I don't blame him for trying to dodge the arms more than getting hits in.
And Alpha finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 22 seconds.
GG.
GG.
I think he's ready to join the commentary, so I'm gonna drag him in.
Okay.
Yo, Alpha. GG.
That was the absolute worst run of my life. I had never soft locked on Walrus like that before. I didn't even know it was possible.
Amazing.
Yeah, you left the screen.
I
way too early.
pretty much went on full tilt after dying on the last hit of the D3 boss, followed up by that impossible Walrus fail.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, that section.
And then
And,
I even said it in chat. I nailed Rooster Skip 10 times in a row before the race, and then was gonna fail it 6 times because I was being streamed.
Yeah. You had a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, well, on 2 of them, Bow Wow just decided to be right at the back hitbox of the hook shot, and it sucked.
Bow Wow.
The rest was just me being bad.
We were also wondering, you were trying to do a buffered strat or something, but it wasn't quite...
I learned buffered this morning.
Okay.
So I was pretty consistent with unbuffered. But I wanted to. What I was trying to do is, there's a point where I know I'm gonna fall in a hole because I'd done it so many times. So right before I hit that point, if I didn't get it, I was gonna buffer and jump, and that usually worked unless I messed something up or just jumped straight into the pit.
Yeah, it looked like sometimes you were trying to go for it, but then you never really opened the map menu in order to...
That was also
buffer it.
because I was just being bad. I missed my select key.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
really
that-
unfortunate.
Now explain it then.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that I just completely messed up. But yeah, I have like a half buffered, half unbuffered strat because I usually can get the first one, but the second one, because half the time I don't ever end up facing down, I either get it immediately or just screw it. So
And then
Your
there was
suck was
the
that-
unfortunate Evil Eagle falling down after.
oh yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing either. I didn't know that I had to fight the boss twice.
Race luck.
Yeah, first race, mess up absolutely everything.
Well, that's the best way to do it. Now you know going forward all the things that you shouldn't mess up next time.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. I blame you because I followed all your guides, so this is your fault.
Rigged.
He made the guides wrong so he would win against all the new people. That's what he did. But no, those were seriously super helpful in learning the run.
Is there anything else we should discuss?
um,
I'm not sure, actually.
I'm trying to think of if there was anything else noteworthy.
Drawing a blank.
For the most part, your piece of power routing was pretty solid.
Oh yeah, the part that messed it up was my backup save had a
Yeah.
really screwed up piece of power route. Because I looked at the inventory earlier and realized that for some reason I had 3 arrows when I made that save, and I had to go back and just go up to the area before Armos Night and collect a bunch of arrows.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it was screwed up after that, but I was able to recover it a little bit.
The thing is, your piece of power actually resets once you load a save, so you were at 0 kills when you loaded
Okay,
it.
so that's why it started to make sense for some reason.
Yeah, that's why you got it really late into Dungeon 5.
Yeah, and then I was killing a bunch of things there because I had no hearts and failed the jump a bunch of times, even though.
Yeah, at least you knew the backup of the Goomba. That's always
Oh
nice.
yeah, that was something I remember as a kid. It's like if I jump on the Goomba, then I get a heart. I didn't want to die again.
I think we're ready to wrap it up then.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good race. I'll hopefully, with mystery tournament and everything, have enough time to practice before the next round.
Yeah, mystery tournament is going on also. That's really interesting.
Are you in it this time?
No,
Ah.
I didn't have time to get submissions in and stuff. So
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
No,
luck with your next race.
Yeah.
Hopefully, things go a little bit better for you next time.
Yeah, hopefully I don't flub everything that I practiced. I practiced, like, all of those things I messed up so badly, especially Evil Eagle, because I kept messing up the bomb timing. And it just dropped everything. Oh, I'm so terrible. Yeah, it was a good race. I'm hoping to get a better time, especially once MT dies down and I can actually practice it.
yeah, that should definitely help.
And
I think
let's
we're ready
see.
to round it up.
Looks like we have another race coming up later today. I think the next one coming up is Sikinar versus Crunchy Lex at 7:30.
The other two runners in this group.
I'm not sure which stream it's going to be on.
I don't have the schedule open. I think it is gonna be on Speed Gaming. Let me check. Yeah, it's gonna be on Speed Gaming.
Okay,
Exactly what Fiesel says.
yeah, next race is going to be right here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll see you then.